Hello students, first of all I would like to have a discussion on velocities because in the last session we had the idea of velocity, that is velocity is nothing but the rate of change of displacement. But when we will be describing velocities, we can describe a velocity in two ways. One is instantaneous velocity and other one is average velocity. Suppose you are just covering a total distance of suppose 500 kilometer. Now if I am just covering the whole distance 500 kilometer, no, it is not possible to maintain the same velocity always. Suppose my bus is starting now, so it will be having the pickup, and suppose it has gained its velocity like 80 kilometer per hour, then it will be again accelerating and may it come to 100 kilometer per hour. Now suppose the road is not very even enough and it is very rough, so the velocity comes down to 30 kilometer per hour. So ultimately, suppose after 10 hours I am reaching to that very destination. So if I am saying that 500 kilometer we are covering by 10 hours, then what will be my average velocity? Simply 500 by 10, that is 50 kilometer per hour. But what is instantaneous velocity? So on that very fraction, what is the velocity is maintained by that very vehicle is known as instantaneous velocity. Suppose now it is moving by 100 kilometer per hour, but this is not the average velocity. So now for that very instant it is 100 kilometer per hour, but when it is on a rough road and the velocity suppose comes to 30 kilometer per hour, so for that instant it is 30 kilometer per hour. So this is instantaneous velocity. Now I'll be just giving one numerical problem on this average velocity too, but afterwards. Now a very important discussion I'll be just switching over. This is graphical representation of the variables. Now already we have learned about distance, displacement, velocity, speed, acceleration and deceleration, and also we have got the units of all those very things. Now what is a graph, if I am asking, and I think you have learned in your junior class that graph is the pictorial representation of the variables, and generally you have done like two variables you are connecting. Suppose you are just going with your height with age, that is if your age is increasing, suppose your height is also increasing, so in that way. Or it may come like if your age is increasing, your weight is also increasing, but it may also be changed, that is sometimes it may also happen that you are reducing, so in that way you will be having your weight loss. So all these things I can represent in a pictorial way, and we have to be very clear with that there are two variables at least, and we are just connecting those two variables. Now how we have to connect that thing, so we will be now discussing that. We all know that to make one graphical representation we have to go with at least two coordinate axes, and these axes are OX and OY, and these are the positive sides OX and OY, and they are the negative sides also, and these are extended like this. So now you just concentrate on this region, and what we do, we know, and the last classes I think you have done the graphical representation of x and y, where y is a function of x. What does it mean? Suppose y is equal to 2x plus 3. So in that case y is depending on x, that is x is changed, so with that respect y is also getting changed. Now you see, if I am putting x to be 0, then what will be the value of y? It will be 3. If I am putting x to be 1, what will be the value of y? It will be 5. Now if I am putting x to be 2, it will be 7, and if I am putting x to be 3, y will be 9. So now these are the coordinate axis and this is the origin, so we consider that to be 0, 0 point, and therefrom we will be having the count of very small squares. So along x we will be counting and along y also we will be counting, and suppose in that way x and y, x and y and x and y, in that way we will be having so many points, and which are to be added by a line, and we will be having the graph. So I think so far you can understand, because already you have done the graphical representation. Now this is the graphical representation of this. Suppose Now these x and y are two arbitrary things. That is, we can put anything on x and we can put anything on y, but you have to understand and you have to keep in mind one thing, and what it is, that x and y both are variables. But why we are putting x in this or this axis and y in that axis? There is a specific reason, because on x y is depending. Got the point? If x is changing, y is changing. Suppose you are putting your age and height, so which one is to be put along x axis? Obviously age should be given along x axis, because age is changing, your height is changing. Because age is changing, your weight is changing. So you cannot put height along this. It is not happening that your height is changing, that is why age is changing. Got the point? So whenever we will be putting the variables, we have to keep in mind. And one more thing is very important, and I'll be just going with that thing, that is the slope of a graph. And why I'm discussing all these things? Because only not in your this class, but for future classes also, these are the very basic things you have to understand. Now to get the slope of a graph, what to do? Suppose this is the graph, and what to do? I'll be having a very small part of the graph, and I'll be just making one right angle triangle on it. Got it? This is the graph. I have taken a very small portion of the graph and I have made the right angle triangle on it. Now this is the perpendicular and that is the base. So from the base, if I am dragging these two lines, it would have a section on x axis, and from this perpendicular, if I am dragging the lines on y axis, it would make a small section on y axis. Now if I am just taking that very small section of y axis as del y and that small section on x axis as del x, and del means nothing. This is representing a very small thing. Del y, why I have given? Because I have taken a very small amount on y axis, and as because I have taken a very small amount on x axis, so that is del x and that is del y. Now what is slope? Slope is del y by del x. Got it? So del y I can have on the axis, that is y axis, and the measurement of del x also I can have from the x axis, and I can have the values also, and that is slope. So if I want to describe it by words, so how we can describe that thing? I should describe like the change of y with respect to x. Very small change of y with respect to x. Suppose I am just going with a specific thing, and if you are just in a growing age, and suppose you are just coming from 0 to 30 years, you want to have your how your height is increased. So do you think the rate of change of your height when you are at the age up to 12 years, and if you are just going from 20 to 30 years, the rate of change of your height will be same? Obviously not, because up to 12 or 13 years you are in the growing period. So then the change of y with respect to x, that is change of height, because I have taken suppose height in the y axis and your age in the x axis. So how to describe the slope for that very graph? So we can describe the slope like change of your height with respect to your age. Now tell me, do you think all along your life or up to 30 years, if you are just going for, the slope will be same? Of course not. Your slope will be very fast. The value of the slope will be much more up to 13 to 14 years. After that you will be increasing, that is your height will be increased, but very slow manner. But if I want to have this slope from the year 20 to 30, do you think I can have any slope? No, because my height has come to a static position. Your height will be come to a static position. That means it would no more will be changed. So in that case the slope would also be 0. I think you have got it. Now we will be discussing different variables, how they are getting changed. This is graph number 1. So what I have taken along x axis? I have taken time along x-axis and displacement along y-axis. And again I will be telling you, when you will be just going with this lecture sessions, you just come with your pen and exercise book. You have to note it down and you write yourself, and it will be much more beneficial for you. Got it? So along x-axis what I am putting? I am putting time, and along y-axis what I am putting? I am putting displacement. Now why I have taken time along x-axis and displacement along y-axis? Because both are variables undoubtedly, because both are changing, but because time is changing, that is why displacement is changing. So we have taken time along x-axis and displacement along y-axis. Now suppose the object is static, that means the object is not changing its position. So suppose from this point the object is at a distance of 5 meter. I may have 5 meter or 10 meter or whatever be. So at 0 time, so what is this? Origin. That means the time is 0. Now at 0 time, suppose the displacement of the object is given by this distance, and what it is representing? Suppose this is representing 5. So after 1 second, do you think the object has changed its position? Of course not. So its position will be same, and displacement from that point will be again 5 meter. After 2 seconds, the displacement would be again 5 meter. After 3 seconds, it is again 5 meter, and 4 seconds also again 5 meter. And even after t second, t should have any arbitrary value. Suppose t I can take 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 hours, whatever be. But if the object is static, then I will be getting always the same position of the object. That is, it will be maintaining its position. So we have got the points. What are the points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the points I have got. Now I will be joining all the points by a straight line. Okay. So it will be just a straight line. It is straight line parallel to the time axis. So this is the representation of displacement time graph when the object is static. So better you draw it yourself and you just write it down. This is the displacement time graph when the object is static. Now it is second graph. Here also we are plotting time versus displacement, and S is displacement. Okay, S is representing displacement. Time always I will be taking along x-axis, that is, this is the x-axis, and time is taken along x-axis, and along y-axis we will be putting displacement. Now the object is suppose moving with a constant velocity. Suppose it has started its motion from 0 velocity, that is, it was static, now it has just started. So when from I have started counting the time, then what will be the velocity? Obviously it was 0, no, because it was in a static condition. So at time 0, velocity would also be 0. Now after 1 second, if the object is moving with a velocity, suppose 2 meter per second, suppose the velocity is 2 meter per second. So in that case, after 2 seconds, after 1 second, what will be the displacement of the body? Obviously 2 meters. Here I have given suppose 2. So after 2 seconds, what will be the displacement of the body? Of course it is 4 meters, because it is moving with a steady velocity. Now after 3 seconds, what will be the displacement? It will be 6 seconds. After 4 seconds, displacement will be 8 seconds. So we have got the points like this. Okay, so what is the kind of motion here? The object is having the displacement with the velocity, with the constant velocity, that is 2 meter per second. Now we have got the points 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what to do? Simply I will be joining the points. So this is the nature of the curve when the object is moving with a constant velocity. It is not accelerated motion. Okay, now you can have the idea of slope. Okay, now what is the slope of a displacement time graph representing? Now what I told, I have to go with a very small right angle triangle from the graph. So I have taken this right angle triangle, and this is the small part of the graph. Here from I have taken the right angle triangle. Now what is this? Now tell me, as because A is in the y axis, so I will be just getting, instead of del y, I will be writing del s, because A is in the y axis. And what is along x axis? What is along x axis? Time. So that is representing del t. Okay. Now if I want to have the slope of this graph, what it would be? It will be like del s by del t. So what is this? This is displacement by time. This is simply displacement by time. Now tell me, what is represented by displacement by time? So it is velocity. Okay. So the slope of a displacement time graph would represent velocity. So here we are getting, and if we are just having the slope from any of the part of this graph, we will be having the same slope. If we are taking that to be maintained, suppose for a same numerator, I will be always getting same denominator. Same numerator, same denominator. That is, the slope is constant. Slope is not getting changed. That means what? That means it is the curve when the velocity is constant, and this is the representation of velocity time, displacement time graph when it is moving with no acceleration. Now this is the representation of velocity time. So you write it down properly with proper understanding, because previously what I discussed the displacement time graph. Now we are discussing velocity time graph when the velocity is constant, that is, it is not accelerated or deaccelerated motion. So velocity is maintained. So when I have started counting the time, so at 0 time, that is, the bus is suppose moving. Okay, now bus is moving with 10 meter per second. So now what is the velocity of the bus? Obviously it will be 10 meter per second, as because I have taken along y axis velocity. So suppose this is representation of 10 meter. Okay, now after 1 second, what will be the velocity? It will be 10 second only. After 2 second, as because the bus is moving with steady velocity, it is 10, it is 10, it is 10, it is 10. So if I am approaching, the velocity would be maintained and it will be always 10 seconds. So now if I am joining all the lines, then what it would be happening? Now I will be just getting the curve like this. So this is what? This is the velocity time graph when the object is moving with a constant velocity. Is that clear? Now we will be just switching to the velocity when it is changing, that is, it is having acceleration. Now if it is having acceleration, and suppose the acceleration acting here is A, okay. Now when the time is 0, that means the object is having 0 velocity. So at time 0, velocity is also 0, because along y axis I have taken velocity, along x axis I have taken time. Now at 0 time, velocity is 0. After time 1 second, what would be happening? As because the buses or anything is accelerating with acceleration A, that means after 1 second it will be increased by A. So this is the velocity. Now after 2 seconds, the velocity will be 2A. After 3 seconds, velocity will be 3A. After 4 seconds, the velocity will be 4A, like this. So we are getting points like this. Okay. Now if I am joining all the points, I will be getting the velocity time curve when the object is moving with a constant acceleration A. Understand? So from the slope of this graph, what we will be getting? Slope means, again I am just getting one right angle triangle, and this is what representing now? Tell me, this is del V, because in y axis we are getting velocity, and now x axis what we are getting? Time. So again it will be representing del t. So what is the slope of this graph represented by? The slope of the graph is representing now del V by del t. Del V by del t. That means change in velocity with respect to time. Now tell me what it is represented by? Change in velocity with time, that is acceleration. Got it? So the slope of a velocity time graph is representing acceleration, and the slope of a displacement time graph, this is the displacement time graph, representing velocity. So this is a very important thing, and you are having lots of questions also out of that. And so the conception should be very clear. I am telling you repeatedly, make your conception very clear with again and again and again writing, only not seeing the video clip. Okay, if you are just seeing the video clip only, it will not be understandable. You write it and then only it will be understandable. And this is the last graphical representation, and this is the change of velocity. In the last case, what we did, we just had the change in velocity with that means it is accelerated velocity with no initial velocity, that it started with zero velocity. But now what we are thinking that it is starting with one initial velocity. And what it is, suppose this is u, any initial, suppose the bus is on a move and now it is accelerating. It may happen, no. Suppose the bus is moving with a constant velocity, suppose it is 50 km per hour, now it is suddenly accelerating. So now from, if I am just getting the draw or getting the graphical representation, then now at this moment the velocity is there. For the first case there was no velocity, that is why we started with 0. But now we are not starting with 0. At 0 time we are having one velocity, so we have to go with some upliftment. So here from we are starting. Now it is accelerating. So after time 1 second, obviously it will be increased by this. That is, initially the velocity was this and now it is added. After 2 seconds, what happens? Now it is increased by this, that is this and this. After 3 seconds, what happens? It is increased by this. By the same amount it is increasing. After 4 seconds, it is increased by this. Okay, that means for increasing 1 second, the velocity is also increased by once, twice, thrice, 4 times of the same amount. That is, if the acceleration is a, then initially the velocity was u. So after 1 second, what will be the acceleration? U plus a. So after 2 seconds, what will be the total velocity? U plus 2a. After 3 seconds, what will be the velocity? U plus 3a. After 4 seconds, it will be u plus 4a. So if we are considering this is t second, this is t seconds. So after t second, what will be the velocity? It will be u plus ta. That is, it was a, it was a2, it was a3, it was a4, and it is time as because t suitya, it is at. Understand? So in that way the velocity is increasing. So finally this is the total increase and it is at, and initially it was u. So after time t, finally what will be the velocity? Velocity will be u plus at. Okay, so you just have a very keen understanding with all these things, and if you are having books, then you consult your books, and I think it will be a good thing if you can understand. It is not only for your this class but for future classes. So I hope you will be understanding, and I will be giving only one numeric on that average velocity. So, and one more thing, there are some that is formula would also be coming, but today you understand all these graphical representations, and by the next day I will be just going with all this formula. Till then, good day.